Bellator charging in immediately versus CBZ is going to be the Mortal. CBZ is trying to make Affliction work. It's going to try to go for Fear versus Bellator. Bellator is dotted up with the Dark Glare, expanding those dots even further. CBZ has got himself full haze buff, and Bellator is not really doing good behind the pillar. The man thinks he's going to be able to survive these dots and be able to charge back, and CBZ to be okay. Does get himself a big charge and a big heal. With the Frenzy Regen, is going to turn the attention onto the Dark Glare for a couple of Bloodthirsts. CBZ is playing the Dark... the Death Bolt? Wait, didn't they buff Death Bolt already? Or is that for 9-2? I think they already buffed the Death Bolt to make it more consistent, but Bellator is still dotted up, still ticking down with pressure from CBZ little by little, but should be able to be okay for a second or two. CBZ, do you have any mobility? Is gonna have to go for Warlock Gate Portal for Warlock Portal. For Warlock Hellstone, does have a port back behind the pillar as he slowly moves it over to his side of the arena. Bellator is dotted up with the Contagion, proccing all those dots. The dots are taken out faster, so hopefully that gives CBZ the procs he needs in order to make the damage happen. But Bellator's health looks like the dots are slowing down, looks like the dots are waning and falling off. This way CBZ needs to get back behind in front of Bellator, get those dots refreshed with Agony and Corruption, make sure there's a UA rolling. Gonna be a miss interrupt by Bellator. CBZ does land the juke. It's gonna get some dots out of Bellator, but the knockdown by the Warrior comes out, and the Warrior continues to heal himself with blood. There's gonna be a few good Zerkers out of it as CBZ is trying to make some damage happen. It's gonna be the Dark Glare to empower the dots. He doesn't have his actual stability just yet, but the Dark Glare is there. It looks like Bellator does take him out. It's gonna be able to get a charge in with a massive heal. Frenzy Regen back up and running. And Chicago is going to be up next. Going to be a Fear as Bellator did a bit of damage to Chicago in the opener. Fearing the Wolves way out as far as he can. Chicago with a massive chain hoppers. Bellator is not in a good spot. Still rocking down to the dots of CBZ's. And Chicago was able to take him out. With Wolfie up next. Chicago trying to go for... Was that a stun by Chicago? Or was that a stun... I think it was Chicago's... Was it Chicago's stun? No, it was Chicago's stun. Chicago tried to see if he can get a stun into Wolfie with a Sunder and a stun. I think was able to stun the Pets, but not Wolfie himself. And Chicago is going to go into this massive ascendance, but having to go for a lot of self-healing. What kind of a build are you running? You're running a Lightning Shield. Gonna be that totem down. Which totem is it? Whose totem is it? Gonna be Wolfie with that ascendance. Does Chicago have an answer for it? It's gonna wall it and try to see if they can find it. The Earth Elementals are beating up one another. It's a 5v5 1v1 duels in here as the Earth Elementals are beating one another. You got Joe and you got Craig over here. Craig uses an auto attack. Joe hits him with an auto attack. And now it's gonna be Wolfie and Chicago using a bunch of spells that no one can keep up with anyway. Quick stun by Chicago onto these pets. Again, the Earth Elementals, for a second, they helped out one another, but then they started beating each other up. So they are there just for the freebie. Stamina buff for both of the Shamans, but they're absolutely doing nothing, just taunting each other. LA 1v1, boys. That's the duels we want to see. It looks like one of them actually won. Wait, Chicago's Elemental won. Looks like Craig won. I can't believe it. We already have a victory over for Team 2. So Team 1 takes a victory, but Team 2 Elemental beats the other one out. He actually wins it. He actually did better auto attacks. Quick Thunder onto Chicago as Wolfie looking for a bit of a reset, but Wolfie's out of mana completely. Not in trouble just yet. We're not in dampening, but his health is not doing that good. Chicago getting mad procs right now. Wolfie able to get himself a little bit of healing. Gonna be that totem down, and Chicago can't really go anywhere. The Wolves are getting locked out by the totem. Gonna be Wolfie resetting as it drops down that totem to keep Chicago at bay, recovering a bit of that mana. He definitely needs it. He needs Maelstrom too, but definitely needs mana. Healing Surge does make it through, and Chicago is going to have to work his health down again. Chicago's also actually out of mana completely, even though Chicago wasn't really going for a lot of healing. Was going for damage instead. Going to be Wolfie. Starting to get a bit of damage. This is going to be a wall. Wolfie got himself Ghost Wolves, Sunder on Chicago, but look at just to get away. Wall this off as he's waiting for mana to recuperate over time. Next video title, These Elementals Totally Rock by Atho. Atho. How you doing, buddy? That's a really bad dad joke, but I love it. That's so good. Gonna be Wolfie, kind of low on health. Needs mana. Has a Maelstrom at least. But now he's back just drained. He's just thirsty for mana. This man needs just a little bit of that blue bar up. It's going to be dropping down the totem. Chicago looking to eliminate a totem to catch up back to Wolfie. But Wolfie is going to be able to make a breakaway. Playing that static totem is actually huge. Wait, chat, is that actually called static totem? I forgot what the totem's called. I had this happen a couple of weeks ago. I forgot what it was called, and I had to ask the chat. Big chain harvest on the Wolfie, not in a good spot, and it looks like Chicago just rocks him. Literally, with the procs. Dark Zway? Yeah, Dark Zway. Gonna be up next. Full bleeds on Chicago. It's gonna have to bust out the ghost souls. Quick maim onto Chicago. Shrink inside of it instead of running with the shackles of malediction. Got himself grounding totem to deal with the shackles stun onto Dark's Way. He's gonna be able to purge the thorns off him. Chicago needs that maelstrom, needs mana more importantly. Dark's Way with a quick roar into bear form, friends of region while hanging out in that thick bear hide. And Chicago is able to catch up a little bit of health. 6 minutes into a duel, 7% dampening. And Dark's Way actually taking a bit of damn. Sunder. And that's going to be an emergency frenzy regen for Dark's Way as they go for a badge defensively. Just looking for a reset. Try to get a regrowth up and running. They're definitely going to need to get some bleeds out of Chicago. Put some pressure into that mana. Because you're not really putting pressure into the hell bar, rather into the mana. You're not fighting the hell bar of Chicago. You're fighting the blue bar for the mana. Quick maim as Dark's Way playing that very, very defensively. Chicago's getting mad procs. This way just go down. Worst up real quick. Chicago's yard super fully formed. Dark's Way trying to go for a roar, doesn't quite get it. Dark's Way super low health. Oh, Chicago catches up to him. Continuing to pummel him with their axes, just chopping up through a druid. Gonna be the stun totem with the Sunder onto Tyrion. Trying to go for a hex. Gonna be the grounded totem for the Hodge. It looks like turning the damage onto Tyrion. Oh my goodness, Chicago. You're just getting mad procs, walling this damage off. Trying to see if maybe they could bust through the Shield of Vengeance. Looks like they're not playing offensively against Shield of Vengeance, just trying to wait it out. Got himself the Earth Elemental for extra bonus health. Chicago better play this very, very carefully. Gotta be that Dora Shadows getting interrupted by Forge Rings with a hex to follow. Chicago does get himself a bit of a breather. Needs more Maelstrom as soon as possible. Might as well go for that real Dora Shadow just to get away. Gotta slow onto the Paladin unless the Paladin has a Hand of Freedom. Chicago's at least gonna be able to keep him at bay. Needs that mana. Just needs to wait it out. Got Ghost Wolves joining in. That is gonna be Hammer of Justice. Definitely gonna need to spend whatever mana Maelstrom he gets from Ghost Wolves on a heal as soon as possible. Actually, big procs to the Tyrion. Oh my goodness! What are these procs? What is going on, Chicago? Chicago, stop! Chicago! You can't be doing that to them. Chicago, they're never gonna come back after you do that to them. Oh my goodness! Rang gonna be up next, throwing down the big old chakram, trying to wrangle up Chicago. Gonna be Chicago dropping down whatever heals they can. That Necrolord puddle dropping in from Rang. Gets a pretty big slow for Chicago. Chain Harvest between the pet, the slime, the Chemist Slime, and Rang. Chicago needs a bit of a heal. Try to go for a bit of healing of their own, but it's actually stopped mid-cast. And Chicago does use a wall heal. Rang has plenty of defenses to work with here. Used a lot of the offenses, but Chicago is still under a lot of pressure. The heals are coming out by the Shaman. 8 minutes of the duel, 21% dampening. Is going to be quite a lot of pressure. It looks like Chicago is getting pressure onto Rang. How are you getting pressure onto Rang? Ah! Oh my goodness. Freezing Trap meaning Chicago as a jump down to meet the Hunter quick camo, and Rang hugs the wall. He's like, oh, getting me away from this Shaman. Chicago's at least given an opportunity to catch up a little bit of mana as it dropped down a healing stream totem. Rang in camo. Chicago is going to be able to meet him with a frost shock. Rang tried to go for a harpoon around the corner. Going to be that stun with Shackles and Malediction. Chicago could drop down the grounding totem, but the Malediction did stack up quite a bit, and actually that Malediction is what killed Chicago. That was just so much pressure. Healing denial. Chicago just didn't even have the globals. Could have went for a heal. It just would be absorbed. Could drop down grounding. It wouldn't help as much. It will help out a little. Jim Bob going to be up next as a survival hunter. I thought Jim Bob was going to be a marksman for some reason. But Jim Bob swapping out. I like that vanilla Mog you got going on, by the way. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but this vanilla Mog, I kind of like it. Jim Bob taking a bit of damage as Rang got a bit of a bite to him, even though Jim Bob is the one with damn. The cooldown's rolling. Going to be the turtle with many, but it's Rang with the fleshcraft. And Rang is ready for more duels. Chicago, he was able to best them in that one. And she'd be able to maybe beat Jim Bob. Jim Bob tried to disengage past him, but the kill shot right in the back. Ooh, with that death shock. 10% more damage in physical. It is a bit of rough. Ice Vampire going to be up next, charging him with a quick breath onto Rang with the Ring of Frost, catching the pet and the hunter. Going to be immediately shrinking for Rang as he interrupts Spam Pyro on Arcane. Going to be Rang with full cooldown. Spam Pyro could go for damage of his own, shift in power since there's no interrupt available for Rang. But that freezing trap is going to stop him. And Spam Pyro is kind of like stuck in motion. Still stuck in motion either way. Quick mending bandages for Rang. Breath by Pyro into a polymorph onto the pet. Drop it down. Full combustion versus Rang. Try to make the damage happen. Gonna be that turtle shell for Rang. And Pyro is gonna go for an invis. Was that cauterize? No, it wasn't. Just invis gave him movement speed. It looked like cauterize for a second with that combustion. Rang in super bad time. Does drop down freeze trap on a perfect opportunity into a feigned death camel, but the pet is still dotted up with that master trying to go for mending bandages. Better not be out in the open. Spam Pyro with a couple fire blasts. Needs to get a bit more damage. It's going to be big damage versus Rang. Rang actually lives this. What? Rang survives somehow. Wait, Master's still burning. Do you die to the mastery? No way. Oh my god. Rang. This hunter just doesn't die. Wait, did Rang fight everybody? He fought everybody but CB Zeus. Jesus. That is rough. Pepsi is the last one left and is giving Rang all the opportunity to recover and get a full reheal. Maybe I'm gonna let Rang go in full camo. Pepsi gets a reset. A full honor duel between the two honorable combatants, the last ones left in the ring. Rang down on a couple of cooldowns like Turtle, so that might set him back against Pepsi. But depending how well he uses CCC, he might be able to hold off long enough until his cooldowns are back. Pepsi's taking a bit of damage from the start. 12 minutes into the duel, 43% dampening, so the healing is massively reduced. Quick freeze trap onto the feral. And Rang take a bit of damage, has a manning bandage to at least remove the bleeds. But it's not really the bleeds that you should be concerned, but rather the bites from Pepsi. As the big Kyrian burst comes out, gonna be that stun with a trigger for Pepsi. Trying to get those bites on the Rang. Just used to get himself the biggest bites possible. Got himself the full burst available. Bash out the Rang. Do they get the bites? Looks like Pepsi takes a bit of damage of his own with a wall right now. Bite one. Does he get a second bite? Pepsi actually in really big trouble. Quick roar versus Rang. As he got a freeze trap down, it's gonna be feigned death. With the manic bandage removing all the dots. Pepsi approaching him. There's going to be a camo right there. Trying to see if he can swipe him out. There's going to be a freezing trap sitting just there, waiting for him. Rang dropping down even more traps down. And that should be Pepsi. Should be able to find him with those eyes, but couldn't. That's going to be a quick opener. Quick Shadowlands, actually, prowl. With a rake onto the hunter. I think a bash onto the pet or a maim. And Pepsi just got nothing left unless they have the biggest burst to turn this around. Try to go for a bite, and Rang somehow came up on top. Rang just does not die. This man just doesn't give up. It looked like he got 3 kills, but rather it should have been 4. It should have been 4 kills. Man, that was huge. Chicago, by the way, that was some amazing damage. What was that? What were you doing to those boys?